Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of World Cup Tidbits with Gully Cricket. And today we have Manas and me, Karthik, over here. For everyone who's asking, where is Shash? He's in Goa. I don't know where is
Oh,
he. Okay, I think so. Okay, probably he's chilling out or he's gone on work, and he will be joining us very, very soon on this show as well. First of all, Manas, what a boring day is today.
exactly.
Uh,
Two low scoring matches.
mhm,
Well, the first match was a little bit interesting, I would say, because even though they started poorly, South Africa, they could get to a decent total, I would say,
mhm,
like around six run rate. And Australia also, they couldn't score like quick enough. And at one point, it looked like South Africa had a chance.
mhm.
And yeah, in the last 3 overs, something they needed about 600 and 25 of 18. And it looked like South Africa could pull it off. But there were no overs left for Rabada and Pretoria had to bowl then. So that's where I think Stoinis and Wade scored some boundaries and then released the pressure. Otherwise, it would have gone South Africa's way. So that match was pretty interesting at the end.
Mhm.
But the other match, where there was so
Yeah,
much hype for West Indies batting,
yeah. I mean,
they didn't do anything.
that kind of ended before it started, doesn't it? All right, so let's
Yeah.
just talk about the Australia versus South Africa match. What is it with South Africa and big pressure matches? You know, I mean, they, we talked about it, right? They won 9 out of the 10 matches and all of
Mhm.
that. Come a big match against a big opponent like Australia. Okay, so I mean, the batting just seemed to crumble, isn't it? I'm sure Hazelwood bowled well and everyone bowled well. Okay,
Mhm.
but they just do not seem to be handling the pressure well.
Yeah, but when you see the South Africa team, how many players do you know who play for South Africa? So the question starts right at the team selection
Hmm.
or the squad selection for the World T20. You have experienced player Faf du Plessis and Tahir and other players, and you didn't even take them. So if you have someone experienced, maybe they can take a bit of pressure and play well in this high pressure games. But that's the thing they're lacking, and but again, it's a like the warm up game against Pakistan. If players scores, they can definitely win a game or two. But I don't see them winning again in the playoffs if they qualify.
All right. So that's always been the problem with South Africa: squad selections, quota systems, rotations, policies, and meeting targets, and all of that. Okay. So unfortunately, the South African cricket is stuck in that. And yeah, there seems to be a lot of back and forth going on between the cricket board and the players. And probably that is really haunting them. So Australia are off to a good start. Okay. I mean, we saw how much the victory meant to them, right? And finally,
Yeah,
Stoinis and Wade punching the air and stuff. They thought probably it was a romp in the park, but they scraped
yeah,
to a victory. And it is a very, very good start for Australia. So coming to the second match, Manas. Okay, so West Indies are what to say, famous for T20 cricket, but sometimes you just have to scrape through, right? You just have to play the long game. You have to come in, stand, build partnerships, but that just lacked yesterday with West Indies, didn't it?
correct. The wickets started falling, and they never even thought of rotating strike. Like you saw Russell coming in at number 7 or 8, and even he started swinging the bat right from the first ball.
Mm-hmm.
When you have no runs on the board, at least you should rotate a strike a bit. That's what I feel. So these are the mistakes which their batsmen did, and yeah, even the team selection is a question here again because if you had maybe Roston Chase, he is known for anchoring the innings, and he
Hmm.
would have maybe stabilized the innings a bit and scored a few runs here and there. But obviously, he could have taken them to a better total than what they got yesterday. 55 was nothing,
I
and
thought that was the power play score actually.
that was
55
a
and
tribute to Pollard. Pollard's jersey number is 55.
okay. So they just wanted to give a tribute to the captain initially,
Yeah.
okay, and then show who the real West Indies are. Okay. Yes, Pollard did say in the press conference that it was unacceptable. Okay.
Mhm.
But he also said that, you know what, they're all very, very experienced cricketers and they could always put a match behind match like this behind and concentrate on what is going on. So England are off to a great start as well. Okay. I just hope the semi-finalists are not already decided based on the very first day, but it's going to be a very, very interesting Group 1. So concluding the first round of Group 1 matches, or the Asian giants? We have Bangladesh and Sri Lanka today. Manas, okay. So you can expect some Nagin dance or something like that.
Probably, but I think Sri Lanka has an edge over this because
Mm.
Bangladesh, like Australia, just scraped through the qualifier, and their team looks pretty inconsistent. On the other hand, Sri Lanka has won 3 out of 3. They had a strike rate, net run rate of about 3 plus 3. So they look in a great touch, and you never know what might happen. I think it's a game of equals, but I think Sri Lanka has a slight edge over Bangladesh.
See, just talking about Sri Lanka, right? I mean, once all the greats retired, like Jayawardena and Sankara, Tilchen retired, right? I mean, it was a very long transition phase. So luckily, India, I think, was the only country which did not have a transition phase like that, right? You take the great Australian teams, okay, great South African teams when Smith retired and all of that. They had transition, but I think is Sri Lanka slowly picking up now? Okay, probably over a period of 2-3 years, they have found some nice players and they're getting into the group.
Yeah, I think you should give a large credit for India's transition to the domestic leagues and IPL as well. So Sri Lanka similarly has bought in new T20 leagues,
Yeah, the Lanka
like
Premier
Lanka
League.
Premier
Yeah.
League. Yeah. So I think it helps identify new talent, and that's why in the recent past they have been able to get a few players here and there. But still pretty inconsistent and not very experienced. But I think in the long run they'll get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, not many people would remember, but Sri Lanka defeated India in T20 series a couple of months back, breaking India's 8 series winning streak. Yeah, we know like it was under crazy circumstances. Okay, but still, a win is always a win. And looking forward to today's match, as Manas said, I agree. Bangladesh seems pretty inconsistent. They scraped through the Group 1. Okay, and my money is on Sri Lanka today. And moving on, Manas, to the big one.
Right.
I mean, I miss Ravi Shastri. Okay, he would call it as the mother of all battles. It's India versus Pakistan, right? So, what do you think, Manas? I mean, are you excited, or is it like, for the spark of the old rivalry is kind of missing? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the spark is kind of missing. I don't see a lot of tweets or posts or something like that. But yeah, it's going to be a high voltage game because both the teams have star players. You cannot underestimate Pakistan here because they have Babar, Rizwan, and Zaman. They can go huge if they start hitting runs. And it's definitely going to be a high voltage game. And I hope Virat also comes back to form because he's known to play those knocks against Pakistan.
Right. Yeah.
And he has a strike rate of around 180. So I hope we see some boundaries or sixes from him. And talking about Ravi Shastri, I think he'll come back next season. After this World Cup.
After this, right? Yeah. So then we will hear all those tracer bullets and at the end of the day,
ordered.
At the end of the day, cricket is the winner. Okay, that used to be his favorite line. Okay, so I mean, I actually miss following Pakistan cricket, Manas, because I've been like a big fan of Pakistan cricket team because they're a high voltage team, isn't it? They're the only team who can lose with 30 required of 30 balls, and they're the only team who can win with 70 required of 30 balls as well. Okay, but I'm sure you have been following them a little bit. Okay, so talk about these guys: Babar Azam, Shaheen Shah, Afridi, and all those things. So what's the kind of impact that they can have on the team?
Yeah, so if Babar and Rizwan, if you see the team, actually only Shoaib Malik and Hafiz have played T20 against India. The rest
are they still playing?
Yeah, they're still in the squad. So from the squad, only these two are there who have played against India in the past in T20s. So I don't think they'll play today, but you never know. Pakistan is known for that. That if someone plays good in the past, they'll just keep dragging them forever and make them play. So you might see Shoaib Malik play today as well. It won't be a surprise. But yeah, talking about Babar, he has had a lot of runs, especially in UAE. It's their home ground. So I think Babar has around 700, 800 runs, and this one as well. So the thing is, they know the pitches well. So it could be of some trouble to Team India. But we also have Rahul, who has scored around 600 runs on these pitches. So hopefully he counters them. And Shaheen as well has been bowling wonderfully. Even in the domestic cricket, he's been bowling good. So he could be a potential bowler who could take some wickets of India in the top order.
All right, very true, isn't it? Because both teams had their second leg of their respective T20 leagues, right? IPL and the PSL legs in the UAE, and we know Pakistan have been playing in the UAE for the last 10 years. Okay, so they know the pitches very well. Okay, though it's a little changed, but talking about India, I think they seem to be a balanced side, isn't it? Because like they're slowly ticking off all the boxes with respect to the warm-ups and the people in form in the IPL. So fair to say India start favorites?
Yeah, definitely. Rohit and Rahul looking great touch, and if India is chasing and if they start hitting, then I think they will only finish the game. But just in case, if you need Virat, also Virat has scored a lot of runs against Pakistan, and even the ones who come after Virat, Surya Kumar or Ishan Kishan, they too were in great touch during the warm up or even in the IPL in the last few phases. So a bit of concern after that, but I think these people will finish the game today.
Hopefully, hopefully. All right, guys. Okay, so it's going to be a wonderful battle today. Okay, it's Bangladesh to versus Sri Lanka to start with. Probably warm us up for the match. Okay, probably expecting some interesting incidents in the match. And at 7:30 today, as we all call the mother of all battles, India versus Pakistan on a cricket field after a long, long time. I think after more than 2 years. So it's going to be a wonderful Super Sunday, folks. Enjoy the match. And talking about our contest, okay, we did not have any right predictions for the first match. So I think a lot of people did not realize that we had the video come up and not many predictions. Just Josh Hazelwood, who was the man of the match for his wonderful spell up front. And for the second match, obviously we got a lot of predictions for Adil Rashid, who got 4 for 2 of 2 overs. But so what's the logic, Manas? Why did they give it to Moeen Ali?
I think probably because Adil Rashid came in at the end and took some tailenders.
I mean, he still got Pollard and Russell, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know why they took him, but Moeen, I think he started taking the initial wickets and that helped a bit.
Yeah, because even when I checked out Cricinfo, right, they said if the impact player is actually Moeen Ali. Okay, so I'm sure. Okay, there's a lot of stats and a lot of smarts which go in. So Moeen Ali is the man of the match. We got only 2 right predictions for that. Okay, and let's see who the winner is. All right, here we go. All right, go. So here we go. Vinod. We have got Vinod Hema.
First winner, no?
Yes. Yeah. First winner of the World Cup. So congratulations, Vinod. Well done, well done, well done. So have a lot of fun, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. And please don't forget to comment your man of the match before the start of the second innings of each match. And this is going to be the link. Cheers, guys.